Everybody, we're Team 3 Quake, and we're a team of biologists, physicists, computer scientists, and so on. Quite nice pictures, right? Yep. So we live in a world full of high-tech, AI, quantum, machine learning, and personalized healthcare. But we tend to forget one major problem with catastrophic consequences, and this is earthquakes. So we have drastic losses from earthquakes. The society suffers, our homes, families, infrastructure. Only last year in Turkey, as we all know, this is real data by the way, 60,000 people died, and the losses are estimated at more than 95 billions. That's not a problem only of Turkey, unfortunately. This is on the whole world scale, 21 countries with 260 million people in danger. And this danger is every second. This is a seismographic from North Chile, 2007. As you can see, what I want to show you is, this is how everything is nice and shiny on a bright day, and this is what happens out of nothing. Or at least, we don't know yet. But we have a solution. In fact, we came up with a device which we are going to put 10 kilometers underneath the surface in seismic regions. And the key step here actually is that we went to known equations governing the Earth's interior. We managed to reformulate them and put them in a expression, all these nasty partial differential equations, which can be solved with current algorithms and AI which we developed. Our estimates are that we can predict earthquakes 1 week in advance with 1 kilometer accuracy, allowing for evacuation of people, their belongings, and everything which is precious to them. It includes sensors, pressure, vibration, radiation. Our data is going to be stored on the cloud worldwide, and a key thing is that we provide the data in a readable format for government's alarming system. Petya, please.
We expect a profit from production, delivery of devices and installation about 90,000 euros for 1 unit, and from equipment and software support subscription, for example, for software improvements, algorithms for faster calculation, for cloud servers that we use for our data, etc. Around 500,000 euros per year. Our key clients are governments and local governments. Our market size are 21 countries that are located in seismic regions. So the value of the market is around 12 million euros, of which we expect to get 30% of that market. We will cooperate with commissioners to go to market, or directly will present our product in front of the government agencies and representatives. We will participate at conferences or forums, so we will populate our products. Our competition is are companies maintaining seismic data submission. We differ from them in that we could predict with greater accuracy and predict further into the future. We need an investment for unstable the device, test the prototype, for which we need 120,000 euros. Thank you.
Thank you. The highlight here is actually not very obvious. But what he said is there was this formula invented like 30 years ago. But back then they didn't have the calculation power to actually use it in practice. Today we have AI, quantum, we have more computing power. Let's use that knowledge and apply it today because it was not applicable back then. I want to highlight that very strongly because you guys should look more into that. You don't have to invent new things to make a business. You can take old things, use the new tools, and then be really successful with that. Okay, questions anyone?
Okay, please. Okay.
Person on the left.
Me?
Please.
Okay, so I have maybe observation rather than question. First, the goal of 10,000 meters of locating the probes is very ambitious. The current deepest borehole is 12 kilometers.
In Russia, right?
In Russia, the goal super deep borehole, and it has stayed the deepest one for over 30 years for very good reasons. It's really difficult to drill so deep holes. Also, the cost of this hole is about 2 orders of magnitude greater for a single hole. It have costed over 10 billion euros. So I think the estimated cost is far off from the real.
This is a technical information, not business.
Can I say 2 things before I do
This is how we play in this situation, because you will be getting that a lot. So thank you, sir, for the feedback. You're absolutely right. This team needs an advisor, so let's speak in the audience after that and get into it. That's how you handle this type of situation. No answer.
Okay, so for this 12-kilometer hole, I also read that one of the reasons it was stopped is because of the fall of the regime there and the Soviet Union, no funding. And I know for quite a few inventions for the last 20-30 years, for example, DNA and CRISPR, I always get the name wrong, but I hope you know the DNA sequencing. So it used to be billions, millions, thousands. Now it is so hundreds of thousands. Now it only costs like 1,000 and even less to sequence your DNA. So yes, most probably this is very expensive. So if we're talking reality, but potentially it can be done in a much cheaper way, or such a way can be found. And yeah, I think I answered both.
Имахме още един въпрос.
Yes, please.
Това е последния за този.
So, is this a real idea? I mean, if you create this hole, is there anything that you can measure and use it as input data to input for your expression and to give results? Because as I'm almost a seismic engineer and I'm interested in the topic, and I've talked to a lot of professors, and they said that whatever you do, it's really difficult to create a realistic forecast, and there aren't people that are close to this till now. So I'm just interested.
Yeah, sure, yeah. this is unfortunately not real at the moment. I would have really wanted for us to have such a device, even such a pitch in a startup which can present something which will solve this problem. The way this pitch was done and the whole idea was actually connecting things which already work in different fields. So the equations are from the governing laws of stars. I've done a bit of astrophysics. Then the device, actually, the sensors are real. I talked with one of your colleagues, I think he's going to present in the next presentation. Yes, you can measure vibration, radiation of radon, I think it is called. Sorry? Radon, thank you. All of these can be measured, but there is no universal way to get from them and from these parameters to a deeper understanding of what is happening so that you can predict. And that's very, very unfortunate.
Окей, ще ви прекъсна, защото тази дискусия може да продължи доста, а нашето време не е без.
They're aiming at changing how guitars are transported, preserved and sold. This is a rather mundane task, but nonetheless very important. Currently, after COVID, and not only because of COVID, people enjoy live music. They prefer it to recorded one, like streaming, YouTube and so forth. They want the experience. And when such events happen, they are also including guitars, which is very important instrument for the musician, not only for the musician, but also for the insurance companies, the auction houses, and for the collectors. Currently, if an event is scheduled and the instrument is damaged or somehow like stolen, the music event will be, of course, well, cancelled. This is the heart, this is the core instrument, of the musician. It is there, it's the base of their craft. Also, such guitars are very important for insurance companies and auction houses, collectors. That is, when a guitar wants to be resell, I mean, when someone wants to resell a guitar, they would like to know how this guitar was used, who used it, because this brings great value to the instrument. So this goes for the auction houses and for the collectors as well. Currently, with all live events happening around the world, bands are traveling by the cheapest, that they try to find out a cheap way to go to the event, and thus there is great risk of damaging the instrument, mainly like on airplanes, when everyone knows how those hand baggage are handled. That's why we have a solution that is proposing like a durable and sturdy case. It will also include a smart system that will monitor the right conditions inside the box, and it also will provide a software solution which will keep the historical data of the instrument and how it was used, when it was used, where it was used. This brings great value to the auction houses, collectors as well. This is how we are aiming at bringing peace of mind, not only to the musicians, but also to the people who are going to purchase this guitar. So we provide a safe and safe transport, and we are also providing historical data. Key product features, as mentioned, solid frame, sturdy, sleek look. We have waterproof, fireproof, and software-driven integrated system. Revenue streams, we will have several revenue streams from case sales, from software as a service, subscription, and also selling the smart system separately. Market size around 500,000 guitar cases are sold throughout the EU. We are aiming right now at the EU market. Of course, we are going to expand. And one case costs around $250. Our go-to-market will be retail, music education institutions, auction houses, and insurance companies. competition. We will have a direct and indirect competition. The direct one will be guitar manufacturers and indirect suitcase companies. We are better than those two because we provide a smart solution with very high quality materials. All right, and our ask is that we would like to have partnerships so that we can validate our concept and then move towards production, which will be around 1 year after the initial prototype. Thank you very much.
Okay guys, another highlight here. Sometimes we pay a little bit too much time, effort and attention to the quality and the beauty of our presentation. It doesn't have to be like that. You're just so simple. But the point is, it's not the presentation that is presenting, it's him. He tells the story, he is the story, he is important. So my ask for you here is, don't try to create overcrowded presentations. Don't try to put too much focus on the background, because the background is not important. You're delivering the story. And a lot of you are not thinking exactly in that direction, so if you can look at that, that would be great. Questions? Go.
If it was possible in the real conditions, I would be very happy to see the guitar in your presentation. Physical.
Physical guitar
Yes.
in the physical case, like how it is going to be.
Maybe you can place their way to help.
Okay, this is a good idea.
Okay. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Всички благодаря за вниманието. Днес ще ви представя наш... Опа! I have to speak in English, right? Do I have to speak in English?
Chinese. Go in Chinese.
Okay, I'll speak. All right, so I'll talk to you about our idea for a toy that's called Rufus. All right, so who are we? We are a team of very diverse people who have very varied interests, and we came up with something that we think is very important because it covers all of these trends. So our world is getting more and more digitalized. We, as parents, we want a good future for our children. So all of these things drove us to thinking of how we can improve a child's childhood and the way it learns. So who has that problem? Obviously, it's the parents in the modern world, because they're afraid for the future of their children and they want to make sure that their kids have a stable and good future, right? So, because education is difficult and it takes time, that's why we think that this problem is very big. Is it urgent? Of course it's urgent, because children are growing very fast and the world is developing very fast. And there's such a huge competitive environment that if you don't learn when you're a kid, you have no chance to learn, or at least you have a disadvantage when you start learning when you're older. So our solution is Rufus. This is the guy. Our idea is that this toy can be programmed by the kid itself to follow commands. So it's a robot. It does things when you whistle, when you clap, when you speak, things like that. And it can sit, stand, jump, and the kid can program it itself. So this develops the kind of love for programming and from a young age. It's also a vast opportunity for cognitive stimulation, because the kid trains the dog, it interacts with the dog, and it's not a real dog, so it can't really get hurt or be forgotten somewhere and things like that, so it learns a lot of these social things as well. So what you get is the actual toy. You also get with it basic motor functions that are already integrated within the software of the dog, and then you get the chance to develop the higher level movements and things by programming it yourself as the user. It's a user-friendly interface and it works with PCs and smartphones. So we imagine that, first of all, the physical product would be sold for about 150 euros, out of which 60% would be our profit. We will develop a tutorial site with a one-time purchase access thing, and then we'll have a development kit with a yearly subscription. For our market size, the toy market is huge, you can imagine, and just taking 1% of that is 225 million, which is what we think we would target realistically. The way we're going to go to the markets is both through physical chains, so electronic stores, and through our online sites that we will create with door-to-door delivery throughout the entire Europe. So we have, of course, direct and indirect competition. Our direct competition is other interactive toys, and our indirect competition is things like computer games. But our product is still different because it is programmable. It makes the children love to create and to interact. And it's kid and adult friendly, so you can get together with your own kid and play with it. So what we need right now is investors for the prototype development. We estimate around 5 million would be needed for that, and have the product ready in 2 years. We would need programmers and engineers to help out with the fine-tuning of the program. And of course we need distribution partners because we want to reach out through the entire Europe. Yeah, that's it.
Even if the presentation is not the most important thing, a good-looking presentation still helps, so keep that in mind. Contrary to what I said just before that, it's not the most important thing, but it still helps. It gives you a fuzzy, warm feeling inside. Okay, questions quickly. Question, go.
Great product. But,
what do you invest in it?
Yes, but
exactly.
why
You've got one investment.
why this is just a dog? Why Rufus is just a dog? The idea there can be a cat, can be a parrot.
Yes.
Why?
Well, maybe with time, maybe we can make it into something else. But right now, the prototype is a dog. So we can think about other animals. We can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, that's another good technique. Those guys are on the same team. This is staged.
No, that's not true.
Okay, anyway. All right, guys. Next is team number 12.
Благодаря ви за което. Вдъхновено от сензационния успех, който се прояви при диабетиците, които използват подкожни сензори, които извършват мониторинг непрекъснато 24/7 на тяхната нива на кръвната глюкоза. Решихме, че понеже нещата на света са такива, че на 20 минути със самолет от Европа, Азия, от Европа, Щатите и Япония, жените имат проблем с достъп до лаборатория и до навременен контрол на тяхното здраве, специално за женското здраве. Решихме да разработим интегриран продукт, който е сензор и application за телефон. Ще бъдете ли моят асистент? Решихме да създадем продукт, който е интегриран в хигиенните женски материали. Това са дамските превръзки, тампоните, където вътре има сензор, който е една цяла лаборатория. Възможно е да се направи това нещо. И чрез Bluetooth връзка по време на месечния си цикъл жената да получава информация за своето здравословно състояние. Кой има този проблем? Това са жените и момичетата в репродуктивна възраст, където, нали, направо вече следващия слайд, защото този го разказвам. Проведохме анкета тук, за която страхотно много благодарим. Сме благодарни на тези 10 жени, които разказаха своето мнение за нашия продукт преди изобщо той да още зародиш. И 70% от тях го одобриха и казаха, че наистина такова нещо би било полезно. Върни! Нещата, дали, тук е чистата статистика, с която няма да ви занимаваме, после може да отговорим на всички ваши въпроси, но опасностите, които ние можем да предотвратим чрез нашия мониторинг, са широк спектър от болести, полупредавани болести, както и знаете, менструалната кръв не е само кръв, вътре има клетки, има протеини, които могат да ни дадат информация за изключително много неща, които се случват в женското тяло. Веднъж месечно В третия ден се препоръчва монтирането на точно такъв хигиенен продукт с цел чек и записване в нашето софтуерно приложение, което може да си закупите от магазините на Apple и на Google. Сега вече може следващия слайд. Решението е точно, сензорът е изключително малък, по-малък е от тампон, интегрира се вътре в тампона или в дамската превръзка. Благодарение на анкетата знаем, че жените предпочитат вече дамски превръзки и апликейшъна за телефона, който записва, прави контрол, има вътре интегрирани аларми, така че при разминаване в стойностите може да се вземат навременни мерки. Измерваните параметри, биохимия, протеини, хормони, pH-то, микробиология, цвят, всичко, нали, продукта дава възможност за апгрейд в бъдеще и развитие. Изключително много. Естествено, дигитализацията на медицината, личната медицина, интимността, дискретността понякога са водещи и, нали, са важни. Защото ние се интересуваме от женското здраве. Естествено,
на базата на статистиката, която изведохме, проведена тук на място, изчислихме, че е приблизително 3 милиона жени в България живеещи тук. Например, ако 1 милион от тях са в репродуктивно здраве, 70% от тях го закупят от нашите продукти и имаме директни продажби. Тотала ще бъде 7...
Липсва една 0, 7 милиона.
Може да е грешка, колега, извинете. Това е статистиката. В момента, добре, колегата обяснява по-добре от мен, така че му връчвам микрофона.
Очакваме изключително успех финансов, само с една малка инвестиция от около 15-20 милиона годишно за разработката на сензорния продукт. Възвръщаемостта ще е чудовищно голяма и постоянна в бъдеще.
Така, виждаме, че...
Този слайд съм го проспал.
На глобално ниво пазарът за женско здраве нараства изключително много, инвестира се изключително много, приблизително около 44,30 билиона щатски долара са инвестирани в човешкото здраве, като ръста за нарастване продължава, както виждате и на слайда, да расте с годините. И как може да бъде достъпно нашето устройство и как може да се предлага. Това ще са бъдещи лекари-гинеколози, както и други лекари в различни области на здравеопазването, в аптеките и както и в онлайн, както и на онлайн сайт.
Това ли всичко?
Не имаме конкуренция, колега.
Конкуренция? Няма да имаме конкуренция в тази сфера. Никой до момента не е интегрирал и не е произвел продукт, който да се утвърди на пазара в хигиените материали за жените. Благодаря ви, гледайте ни отново другата събота по същото време. Аз вече поисках милиони, там пише 38 хиляди лева. Нищо, нали? Слайда не е важно чак толкова презентацията, важно е как ще си поискаш. До 3 минути минаха.
Съгласна съм. Благодаря за
Браво. What's the highlight here?
The communication between them two.
When you do this for real, there is this urge to go together, to show the team and to pass the ball and to show teamwork. And usually you think this is good and makes good impression on investors. Wrong. When you present, one guy presents from the start to the end. Otherwise, we see what happens here. Passing the ball between each other is very difficult. You have to be really, really good at what you're doing to start actually even thinking about that. This is all fun and games here, but those guys made it the most progressive of all the teams. Do you know why? Of course you don't. They not only defined the product, defined the problem and the solution, they also tried to do some sort of validation of the product and the problem and the solution. Which means Plumman was out there picking women and talking with them and doing actually surveys, you can't imagine how difficult this is for startup founders. They want to sit in a closed environment and work on this thing and invent something and create a product and strategize, instead of going and seeing people, real people on the market. It's not very common to do what Plum did and those guys, to actually go and ask the real customer. Don't be afraid of doing that, because this is absolutely important. This is the real feedback that you need. And those guys did it, and that's why this is the team that progressed the most. Actually, I was impressed by that. I didn't expect it. So, thank you guys. Questions?
Well, the idea is really nice. Still, the prevention for diseases and medical issues is really lacking, and it's a really nice idea to improve that. But I have maybe one or two disagreements with the whole idea. You specifically mentioned what exactly the product will detect and quantify. And I believe you have undertaken a lot more than is possible. We have one huge example, negative example, of how this cannot be done with existing technology. Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes. And currently she's in prison. Well, you're asking for 7 million. She got 10 billion, so it maybe won't be that big of a sentence, but still I believe it's unachievable, this goal you have set in front of you.
Thank you very much for your opinion, and we will discuss
Somebody's actually learning. Okay, go. Last question. I'll take this one, but that's the last one.
I think that we have found the guy with the knowledge.
Okay. Good, guys. Now, the next thing is I want to invite all the teams here. Please stay. Hey, come on. Team number